morning, it's Pinky. I don't know what day today is. I think it must be Wednesday. Let's look. I just woke up a little bit ago. My granddaughter kicked the crap out of me all night, and her sister. That kid's got to sleep in her own bed. I had her sleeping in the bassinet before her mom got back, and she did just fine. And the minute my daughter got back, boom, plopped her back in the middle of the bed. You can't tell people, that you're not going to want your kids sleeping in your bed in 5 or 6 years. So stop doing that, because you're making everybody have to deal with it. And I haven't had no sleep. I think it was Thursday night. I was up. Let's see, I picked up my husband on Sunday. So Friday night, I got like 1 hour of sleep after he had his surgery. Saturday, I came home, brought some ducks to Papa Duck, and he's doing a little bit better. But then that night, I stayed up all freaking night organizing my husband's bedroom and dusting everything, all of his baseboards, and there was sediment on the walls from the wood-burning stove. I had to work on that, just to get it clean so he could sleep in there, because you can't have a surgery and then have dust everywhere. I don't know how he can stand it. We have our own rooms. We don't share. And his is, well, it's better now. Anyway, he's doing a lot better. Bounced right out of the hospital with that hip replacement, and hadn't had any hardly bleeding or anything, and very little discomfort. He's doing really good. And I haven't hardly had to help him at all, which is great. We had a friend that my kids have known since they were small. All of them, since they were, the oldest kids were like 10 and 15 when they met this girl, and my son was very close to their family, and her mother was my very best friend for a long time. And last night, my son called, or yesterday my daughter called and said, have you had a talk to my son? I said, no. And she said, Mom, Coral got killed. Now we know 2 Corals, and one is my youngest son's girlfriend's sister, who is a big bully and really mean, and stalks me and tries to beat me up all the time. And the other one was my friend's daughter. And she was on probation in New Mexico and has 2 kids. One of them is about 3 now, and maybe one is about a year, I think, maybe. Just an infant, small like Olivia, like Danny. And she got thrown in jail for shoplifting when she was pregnant with that baby. And because she was pregnant, the judge went ahead and let her out, told her he didn't want to see her back in there, but she did have probation, and she was on paper for the probation. And somehow, and I don't even know how this happened, because I didn't know anything about this part, but somehow this girl made it to Brooklyn, New York, all the way from New Mexico on the run. And on the 21st, she was murdered in the housing project. And she was shot in the back of her leg and in her arms and in the head, and left in a stairwell to die. Now, as hard as that is for me to say to you, I have, in the past, when my daughter has been gone and on the run from here, I have gone through millions of different scenarios in my head. That very similar scenario, one of them. And it breaks my heart, and I don't understand how this happened. How do you get clear across the country, leave both your kids behind, and make it all the way to Brooklyn and get an apartment and a job and still manage to get yourself killed. I'm having a really hard time absorbing this. My daughter's having a very hard time, and my son is having a very hard time, because my son actually had seen the article where they were trying to identify her by her tattoos, and he recognized the tattoos. And so he got on Facebook and sure enough compared them, and it was Cora. Anyway, sorry. If she texts, it's priority. I have to read it because she's my friend and I don't want her having a rough time and me not paying attention. Anyway. I wish that I had some words, but I don't. I don't even know where they're going to come from. I need to go and find the girl's mother, who used to be my best friend. And we had a huge falling out. We ended up actually in a physical altercation over our kids and over my kids. And we have not been friends for a while. But I'm going to have to suck it up and be a woman and go find her. Because I know she's going through an awful lot right now. Anyway, so that's that news. This is this crazy hairpin I have stuck in my head. Oh, because I had my hair up and then I had two holding it up and then that's all that's left, I guess. Rough night with that kid in the bed, I'm telling you. Doing that anymore. Last night I went to bed. I was so tired, but I was hungry. So there's some of it right there. And I took a bag of Bugles from the kitchen and a chocolate bar, a Hershey's bar. And I fell asleep. And I had gotten the last two pieces of chocolate out, and I don't know if I had them in my mouth or if I just had set them by my pillow or whatever. But I woke up in the night, and it was all over my face. All over my nose. I think someone was near my eye. This whole side. Drop on my chin, on my arm. I don't think I have it anyplace else. But I woke up and I just felt it, and I was like, look at this side. I was like, oh my God, what is it? And then when I woke up this morning, it was just chocolate. I rubbed it all off. There's a spa in Albuquerque that does chocolate facials. But I already gave myself one, so now I don't have to go do that. And it did feel good after I wiped it off. It was like very smooth right there. So I kind of recommend a Hershey's chocolate facial if you're having rough skin. Alright, well, down there 10 minutes. Got two new roosters this weekend. Red and black and red. Has alternated colors. They must be related. And they get along very well. I don't have any trouble with them. And when I went out last night, they were up on a pallet. And I think they were eyeballing the fence, thinking they were going to get out. If they get out, nothing bad's going to happen because the dog is gone. Actually, the dog ended up getting put down by the marshal's office. Because he was doing that everywhere. It wasn't only my house. He was running around doing it everywhere in the night. and the cops were after him, and they had been for a while. And so he was put down by the marshal's office, someone else's place. Thank God. I liked the dog. He was super nice. So, oh my God, you won't believe it, but Sugar is pregnant. God dang it. After I got home from the hospital, I went out to do my chores and put those ducks in there that I got. Not chickens, but the ducks for Papa Duck. I got 4 Campbell, what are they called? Khaki Campbells. Anyway, I got 4 of them. He's not particularly interested. At least he's not alone, but he really is still looking for the little black girl. He likes black girls. I can't help it. I have to find one. Anyway, when I came home and I was putting stuff in her pan for her, I realized she's freaking fat. And I told my daughter, oh my God, Sugar's pregnant. She got pregnant from that freak when she was outside, when she had busted out of her pan and got loose. So now, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I don't even have a clue. I'm either going to, I don't know. I don't even have a clue right yet. Obviously, there's not much I can do about it now because she's very far along. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to find her a home while she's pregnant. And she got pregnant when I gave her away to the first girl, and I didn't want her to get her pregnant, and she did. And she had 8 doggone puppies. Beautiful, but 8. So I'm praying to God that she don't have no damn 8 puppies this time. Shoot. I don't know. Anyway, say a prayer for my friends. I'm still friends with the husband, the stepdad. One of the articles that I listened to that was called, I'll tell you if you want to go and look at it on YouTube. It was called Tattooed Woman. It only had like about 5 views. First of all, the local news was brutal and terrible, and all they did was say she was a fugitive on the run from New Mexico for robbery, and she looked like, and the people in the housing project said that they didn't really know her, but she looked like somebody that had been hanging around a lot there, and she looked like somebody on drugs. That's not at all what they, and said they got that from the New York Daily Mail. So it pissed me off. So I went and looked at the, and it hurt my daughter really badly too. And so I went to, I'm going to tell you the name because I texted it to somebody. And, what's back here? So I went to the New York Daily Mail. It told a whole lot about her and etc. But the thing was is that it said that she told people that she did not have a mom or a dad, and that she'd been raised by her grandparents, but she had spent a lot of her childhood with her grandparents. I didn't meet her till she was a young teen, preteen. She's a beautiful girl. Just absolutely grew up just absolutely beautiful. She wasn't a cute teenager. She was a little bit loose. But, you know, but she grew up to be a beautiful girl. And, anyway, if you want to look at it, it's called Tattooed Woman Shot to Death in Brooklyn's Walt Whitman Houses, Identified as New Mexico Fugitive. And like I said, it only had about 5 views. Shows where she was killed, shows her tattoos, and says the things that she had told people around the housing project. Now, that hurt me when I first heard it, but then I thought, well, she was on the run. She probably wasn't telling people that she had kids. She doesn't even mention her children. But she probably wasn't telling people she had kids, and she probably wasn't talking about her parents. Because she was raised by her stepdad. Her real dad was not in the picture from her childhood, but apparently she lived with his parents. She didn't live, and she lived some with her grandmother, the mother's mom. And, but the mother has a very serious drug problem. too. And it just didn't work out. It was just a very explosive situation. She was even here just less than a year ago. Now, they said that she's from Los Lunas, but she's not. She was living in Los Lunas, and one of her kids is in Los Lunas, but she wasn't from Los Lunas. She was really from California. And she grew up in Magdalena, and she's not from Los Lunas. But that's what the news is saying. And, I don't know. Anyway, keep her family in your prayers. Brothers and sisters and friends. A couple of babies with daddies that now have a lot to deal with. And for her mom and her stepdad that can't fix it now. There's no way to fix it. 26 years old, gone. Stop doing this, young people. Stop. Please. Being free and running the streets is not living. It'll get you killed. You'll land up somewhere where you don't freaking belong and think you're tougher than you are, and you end up dead in a stairwell. It's a shame. Really is. Alright. Listen, I gotta go. I can't cry another tear. I love y'all, and I thank you. Appreciate you so much. And, the other night I went out and I was looking for, I was going to go buy a new camera in Walmart while I was in Albuquerque. Left the house about 10:30. Drove around Albuquerque all freaking night. I think I got back to the apartment about 12:45, 1 o'clock, something like that. Could not find a 24-hour Walmart in Albuquerque that was anywhere that close to where I was at. And when I got up the next morning, I Googled it, and there was one just a mile up the block there. But I didn't go the right direction. I went the other way, back towards where I used to live. Anyway, so I didn't get a new camera, but I'm getting one as soon as my paycheck comes in again. I know I spent most of my paycheck, but I am going to get a new one. So if anybody has, I can still feel chocolate. If anybody has any ideas about good cameras, let me know, okay? Cheap. I'm not spending on $500, $900 on no dang camera. We start getting rich, then maybe. But 120, 150, a couple hundred tops. Okay? So let me know. Alright guys, I gotta go. I love ya. Have a blessed Wednesday. It's hump day. Gotta call, make some transportation stuff for Friday for my brother. So I better get off the phone and do that, charge up my phone again, and handle some business that I have not handled this week. I need to. But I love you. Have a blessed day. Stay sweet and be blessed. And I'll talk to y'all later. I love you. Alright? Bye.